Alrighty, we are back. Oh boy. Let's take a minute here to mentally prepare myself for today's grand campaign part. I did a little look over things this week on the save, and holy fuck, it is gonna be rough. But that is what the crisis is for, is it not? I suppose. It was good, Andromeda. How are things over in Mir, you heretic? It was fun. CK3 game is pretty fun. I feel like a bit of a traitor playing a Targaryen after Blackfire, I have to say, but it's good. Valar is an interesting character. I'm trying to play him in a, like, I don't know, his traits are an interesting mix. Like, he's ambitious, compassionate. What are the other ones? Ambitious, compassionate. Forget the other two. But the way I'm trying to play him out is I'm going to try and make him kind of weak at the start of his reign. Like, I was kind of like letting the council run the show for a bit. I'm going to keep doing that for a little while, because I think it'd be kind of interesting. He's a bit of a warlike guy, right? But he's more learned, and I wanted to kind of play him in the beginning, like the first session or two, as very much under kind of his counsel more than anything else. And then we'll see if there's anything that'll kind of make him change that. So I think it'll be interesting to play that out. So that's a mod made by the Discord server and the folks who run that game. It's custom. They've added a bunch to it, like mechanics for roleplay and mechanics to make things easier. So it's based on like the AGOT mod on Steam, or you know, the one the mod team made, and then they added some things on top. So it's really good, really well done, a lot of fun. So, mostly a little bit of changes. All right, 5 seconds of me mentally preparing myself. There they are. There they are. Before we get started though, something interesting. I put out another Grand Campaign edited video today, this morning. And it was the part of the Victoria 3 streams where we had like kind of the rise of early fascism. And there was that guy, D'Annunzio, who was in all of our events. He pushed for like women's property rights and led like the fascist movement all the way into Hoi 4, right? Turns out he's a real person, which I did not realize when all that was happening. Someone commented about it. He was a real guy in Italian history. Gabriele D'Annunzio, the Prince of Montegozo. Sometimes written D'Annunzio, as he used to sign himself, was an Italian poet, playwright, orator, journalist, aristocrat, and member of the Royal Italian Army during World War I. He occupied a prominent place in Italian literature from 89 to 1910, and in his political life from 1914 to 1924, he was often referred to by epithets as the poet or the prophet. So he was a real person, which is fucking crazy. He was fairly important at the end of Vic 3 going into Hoi 4. If you remember, the fascists got pretty far actually, especially in Hoi 4, before the royalists kind of, and the democratic reformers ended up kind of staying in charge. But yeah, really interesting guy. I'll shoot a link into the chat right now. Yeah, the fascist one, Bombadillan, this guy, real person, super interesting. I was doing a bit of reading, but I didn't have time to go through all of it. Just again, blew me away. It was real. He was real. I kind of wish I'd known that before I edited those videos, because I'm done with the other one, next week's as well. So it would have been interesting to kind of go over him a bit more in detail given the context, but oh well. He was already fairly important. So anyway, kind of interesting. What's the Draconir? Andromeda, who am I looking in on? I assume the dying sun. I think I already know who you want me to look at. I'm surprised Ferdinando didn't end up passing in a fascist government, because the guy was the same as his father, a stubborn, cruel bastard. Yeah, but he was under so much pressure, and the liberals and the left kind of had more numbers roleplay wise, and they won the vote. So Draconir, it could have gone either way, to be fair. It really could have. It just did not end up going their way. So it's too dramatic. Too dramatic. We haven't started really fighting the contingency yet. Got lucky? Yes, indeed. Reed, you wanted me to look at the dying sun, I assume, because you made them. They are in an okay place. They've got a lot of planets. They've got some pretty solid fleets, probably around 250 to 300,000 fleet power, so pretty solid. Not enough to fight the Contingency, but they could fight the Seeds, which they're already doing. They have a fleet currently fighting one of the Seed hatchling fleets over in that part of the galaxy. Their politics is dominated by the Ordered Society Union, which is authoritarian, and the Committee of Traditional Foundations. To join the United Nations, I think you mean the UNS, right? Andromeda? The United Nations of Space, the Federation, is that what you mean? Oh, they got a new Empress too. Empress Yasuke Yuhara the First. The thing is, would the UNS even let them join? I mean, we have allowed like authoritarians to join. If you remember, the UNS, which is our federation, has had quite a few actually join. Let's take a look real quick. We've got the Salvation Protocol, which is a robotic hive mind. We've got, where is it? I know we've got authoritarians somewhere in here. I thought we did at least. I thought there was one. Yeah, the Wabubitan hierarchy, who are authoritarian too. So we've already done it, I guess. And given the Contingency, I think it might be roleplays wise doable. Haha boob, yeah, absolutely. Highbrow humor if I've ever seen it. You want them to join? How would they justify that roleplay wise? Reed, what's your reasoning for them doing that? They would request it can be accepted or denied, but they're doing it because they have a border with you and they know they may die due to the Contingency. Okay, that's fair. You're 21, but yet you have the humor of a 12-year-old. Yes, that's reasonable. I do too. The more tired I get, the more my human just like recedes to my childhood. I could see it. I don't think it'd be accepted though. I'm gonna be honest, by the other Federation members. Can we even invite them? Send a diplomat, we might be able to. I'll give it a shot. I'll try and invite them, Raid, but we'll see if it gets accepted or not by the other Federation members. I think given there is an existential crisis to the galaxy, I think it is kind of reasonable. Let me overview the situation with Stellaris too for folks. We'll do a recap. It's been a few weeks and we're in a pretty wild position here. So currently, our president is Angelo Torres, I think, did I say son or grandson of Solomon Torres, the first president of the UNE in the Galactic Age. He got elected after a fairly competent career in the UNE Navy. He was our commanders during the war with the Chosen, the Purifiers. So he has a history in the Navy. He was elected due to wanting to work more than his predecessor with the other nations of the galaxy, and is the person in charge with the rise of the Contingency and the Seedlings, the other crisis we're currently dealing with. So he is currently our leader. He is a Xenophile level 4 psychic. All our leaders are pretty much, most of humanity has psychic connections at this point, if not being outright psionic. So he's fairly competent. He's in charge. Again, naval history. He understands warfare. He is a pretty good leader to have at this moment with our current situation. The UNE as a whole is in a really solid place. Prior to the crisis, we were kind of at the zenith of our technological and economic height. I mean, we have quite a few worlds. I'm not sure how many. It's a good amount. There's a way to see it, I think, right? I want to say we've got like 24 worlds or something. It's quite a few, very prosperous. We've terraformed a bunch of new worlds. We've terraformed Mars. We've terraformed Venus. Yeah, a lot of very big worlds with lots of people. Terra Nova, our first colony, population and economically almost rivals Earth itself. So we're in, as I said, we were in a golden era of peace and prosperity. We were in a really good place. The UNE is a very good place to live. Economic surplus, an economic system whereby we rely on cheap labor from non-intelligent robotics, which do all the menial jobs. Most, if not almost all people in the UNE are very well educated and kind of just oversee and work in jobs more befitting of that status. So It's not like a utopia, but it's a pretty nice place to live, right? Unless you want to, you don't have to be a farmer or a miner. There's robots for that, right? You are well educated. There are state programs to assist you in pretty much anything you need. There is just a bountiful amount of resources the government, puts into quality of life for its citizens. It's a good place to live. It has been a very good place to live. We focused on obviously having a strong, capable Navy to deal with the conflicts we've chose to fight for ideological reasons, but we've also put a lot into obviously procuring and developing talent, primarily for good education, a lot of colleges and universities across the settled systems. The Earth is an amazing place to live for the most part. A lot of people, but we've done a lot to kind of stop the effects of global warming and climate change through obviously moving most of our industrial processes off of Earth itself, right? So Earth is not like, perfect. It's not a Gaia world, but we've restored the climate, we've restored the ecosystems, and that's a pretty nice place. Nyland is probably the largest hub of scientific thought and expansion outside of probably the Sorosian systems, because they're just ridiculous. Overseen by Zasira Khatun, one of our great renowned scientists. It is a world of scientific marvel, essentially, right? There's just a lot of amazing places in the UNE as a whole. We're in a good place. The economy is in a great spot. We've got a huge surplus of food, of minerals, really everything we need. There's no part of the economy that's not currently stable. We have a pretty solid excess of a lot of the very materials we've been using to trade for goods in the galaxy. We have a pretty large fleet as a whole. Not as large as it used to be, but it is pretty solid for the most part. From that minute. We obviously control the L cluster as we were the first to go through it, despite the scientist having done so did break the law more or less. We had said that no one was allowed to go through the L cluster gates. They did, and a bunch of dragons, like giant space dragons, popped out. And they've just been going around, not causing problems. So we got really lucky, essentially, right? The shard grand dragons. There's a few hatchlings around the galaxy as well in various places, which I don't know where that event chain goes. I haven't looked it up, but they're out there just doing whatever they want. Nile is being turned into the hub for the UNE Navy. We're going to be moving our fleets there pretty soon. We are building stations around the stars there, a giant habitat to administer the fleets. It's Medici Station, named after the famous Italian admiral in the First and Second World Wars. We own all the other systems in the L cluster. We turned the terminal egress into a choke point, which we are going to try and hold. We'll see if we can even hold it against one contingency fleet. It'll be rough, maybe doable. We got to move the other fleets there, but I believe we were still upgrading them. I think prior to the ending of the last stream, I was working on changing our fleet designs, and we were still finishing on those upgrades. But when they're done, we're going to move them to the terminal egress to try and hold that. The reason being, of course, the contingency, which has appeared over the last couple years. There was a pretty wild event where basically all intelligent robotic life in the galaxy, all synthetics, started to disappear or find any craft they could and go to specific parts of the galaxy. It was a really weird phenomenon cataloged by the galaxy as a whole and resulted in the appearance of the Contingency, which is an ancient AI, an ancient robotic race placed there, as they have said, we can't confirm it, at the birth of the galaxy itself in order to prepare and exterminate a great enemy of the past. They are very hostile, and their intent is to cleanse the galaxy of all life. As you can see here, designation: vermin, pollutant, cancerous growth. That's what they're referring to us as, and all other life. Sterilize, euthanize, and expunge is their plan. So there are 4 planets that have appeared in the galaxy. We have found 3. There is one up in the north, right here, in the middle of space, owned by the Ra Ademus, close to the Varanian Republic, as well as, who's the other one? The High Rulership. There is one very close to us on the border of those who remember the dark in QW 547. And there is one more, where is it? Somewhere here. With the Rubicons, where is the other one? Bear with me. There's literally a way to do this in this situation like this. yeah, the other one is just to the south of the Cerosians. The Cerosians are the most advanced species in the galaxy. Their science eclipses everyone, including us. They have, I think, around double our science, actually. Considerable fleet, but the Contingency appeared right on their border, also right next to the Shigodian Union, and that would be pretty cataclysmic for the galaxy. The Cerosians overall are very friendly. They're a science directorate, they're peaceful traders, they're scientifically very advanced, they're a member of their Federation, associate member. They're kind of the hive of knowledge in the galaxy outside the fallen empires, which don't really obviously deal with the rest of the galaxy and the other nations within the galactic community. So the Contingency appearing there, bearing the ability to end the Cerosians and their science, which could be pivotal in destroying the Contingency, would be cataclysmic. We would obviously want to intervene and help them immediately. Unfortunately, the Contingency world so close to our border, and those who remember the dark will have us busy with other issues. The fact that we also own the terminal egress means we need to defend it, not for our own sake, but for the whole galaxy, as if it falls, the Contingency would be able to move around the entire galaxy without really anything constraining them. So we're in a very tough situation militarily. We have sent basically just scores of diplomats from those who remember the dark to try and rebuild relations after our war with them around, I think, a little over 100 years ago. We've had a long, very hostile history with them, but in many ways, we're not that ideologically different than them. We wouldn't hate them. It's not like their ethics are such that we could not work with them. So we're trying to solve our old issues and work with them to stop the Contingency, as if they fall, we will surely fall right after. The other major event that has appeared, we have two crises, folks. The Seedlings appeared all over the galaxy as well. So that's the Scourge crisis. One of their seedling ships is actually currently being hopefully destroyed by the fleet of the Empire of the Dying Sun. Whether or not they succeed, we shall see, but it looks pretty good. So that's a developing situation we would not view as remotely as important as the Contingency. So that's kind of the focus of the galaxy. A couple years before the end of last session, we proposed to the galaxy declaring a crisis and for all members of the galaxy to focus on dealing with the Contingency. It failed. It was voted down on the Senate floor. As a result, we followed it up by naming us the Galactic Custodians to basically lead the effort, given we control the L cluster, have one of the largest economies and fleet in the galaxy, and that is going to succeed. The only ones voting against it are our dear friends, those who remember the dark, as well as the Twaxtar, who are their vassal. So we are going to be becoming the custodians here pretty soon, and it will fall upon the shoulders of the UNE and President Angelo Torres to prepare the defense of the civilized galaxy. This is the beginning of the Contingency and the end of the Grand Campaign. So that is the current state of affairs for the most part, although I think the relevant points. The Negative Trait Removal Act. To prepare for the Contingency, the act will have as many negative traits like the pop growth speed on humans removed from genetic manipulation. That is currently banned in the UNE Charter, Johnny. The UNE Charter does not allow genetic manipulation of humans or cloning. So that'd be a hard sell. I'll throw up a poll for it if you guys would like to vote on it, but just keep in mind this is banned by the Constitution. So keep that in mind. Hold up to that, you're all welcome to vote on it. Music's too strong, let me turn it down. I think it's because I have two of them on. That's probably why. How about now? Is it any better? Bombadilla? Let me know if that's a bit better. Also do this. We do have genetic manipulation. Are you sure? I could be completely wrong about that. I know cloning was banned, but I thought we also banned genetic manipulation. Alrighty. We've done pretty much all the upgrades we can up to this point. So I think I'll see if there's anything else they can do with automation, but beyond that, let's see here. Our science ships are pretty much all gone. All right, the fleet was being upgraded. It looks like we have finished that for all of them. But our fleet was bigger than this. And then we're gonna send them all the terminal egress to try and hold our choke point there. If that falls, the galaxy will likely fall. If we need to move those fleets back to fight alongside those who remember the dark against that contingency world, we will, but for now, there's not much else we can really do here. The biggest priority is the terminal egress. It's kind of basically almost our burden at this point, right? So, okay. Let's get moving. See how things develop here. 256 days and we'll become the Galactic Custodian as well. Do you have any plans for a new mega campaign? Yes. Mina, after this one, I'm going to be starting a mega campaign with the Fallen Eagle mod for CK3 starting in 576. And we're going to be starting as Arturius, who is thought to be one of the inspirations for King Arthur. He was a Roman legionary and then lived in post-fall of Western Rome, Britain, during like the Saxon conflicts with the native Britons. So 476, thank you, Trucker Nero. That'll be the next mega campaign. I'll be starting that in fall. I want to wait until I figured out what's going on with school because I'm moving this fall. I'm going back to college. And then I also want both DLCs to come out, the new ones, and then the mods to update. So yeah, it'll happen sometime in the fall. Hope the lag isn't too bad today. Let me do a couple things here. I have to kill Discord. It'll be an even longer GC. Yes, it will. Yeah, it'll be another year or two. I'm not going to rush it. I thought I'd get through these mega campaigns a lot quicker. I thought I'd be able to do one a year, but if I want to do them right and play them out properly without just like streaming all the time, which I can't, just don't have the time, they're going to take a while. They're probably going to end up being around 1.5 to 2 years each. I'll do them for a while. I'll pretty much do them until like work or anything else kind of prevents it. But I think that's kind of how it's going to go timeline-wise. This one, by the time I'm done with all the episodes, will probably be almost 2 years since I started it, which is crazy. But it's been pretty fantastic. All right, so that should make things a bit quicker here, hopefully. The recently colonized planet of GN664 Prime is still become very popular in the Empire for immigration. Nice, that's Elysium. We've colonized a couple of really fun new worlds. I think we have
system probe complete.
What's it called? A resort world we made, and then I think we colonized a Gaia world too. Assuming you do CK3 all the way, and I will, yeah, it'll be long. The act actually passed. How many people voted on it? Only 3 people voted on it. I don't know, man. I don't know if it makes sense roleplay wise. I'm trying to think about how this could be done realistically. I don't think even and we crashed. Uh-oh. Well, fuck. All right, I'm gonna restart Stellaris. Hopefully we don't have a bug I have to go figure out. That would be really unfortunate. I did test it this week and it was fine, so it's a little worrying. We'll see what happens. We wouldn't be able to mandate it, right? The Uni Constitution guarantees freedom, so we couldn't just go around telling everyone you have to go to a gene clinic and get your like DNA modified, right? We would not do that. There's no way. But doing the research for it and presenting it as an option to citizens in the UNE, that would be realistic. You also have to remember that we are by now very much a multi-species, cosmopolitan nation, right? Humans are not the majority species in the UNE. So it'd be more like we'd begin research on like removing the potentially bad genetical issues with all the different species in the UNE. That would make more sense on an island to aid in the war effort or just for any other reason, right? So that might make sense. And then we would provide that technology in the gene clinics, which we built on almost every world, as like optional to citizens of the UNE, right? That could make sense. It's meant to be optional. Okay, yeah. I could see that. I think what I'll do then, I think with genetic manipulation, right, the way it works in Stellaris is you like modify and create a separate species and then you can convert. Can I choose how much of the species we convert into it though? Because I could see doing it in like maybe like 1/4 of the people being willing to do it, and then we'd like convert those. I could see doing that. That'd make roleplay sense. But just mass doing it to all like humans and other species, I don't think would make much sense. It's per planet. Okay, that makes sense. We'll convert like maybe Terra Nova and another couple worlds or something. We could do that. That makes sense. I think that'd be the realistic way to do this here. All right, I have to go take a piss again. I'm going to run and do that really quickly. And by then, I think Stellaris will hopefully be loaded. Everyone, please cross your fingers. This Stellaris is not going to get a bug. Because holy fuck, I don't want to have to do a Vic 3 and sit here for like 8 hours and bug fix. Holy Christ, that was ridiculous. I'll be right back. Fingers crossed. Oh, there wasn't an autosave. I've done the recap though, so I'll just make the changes, move the fleet, and then we'll go from there. Really hoping there's not a bug. We've gotten so far with that one. The one thing I think it might be is that I turned off Steam because I was trying to basically get rid of anything that took up processing power that wasn't Stellaris. So maybe when I turned it off, it caused something to go wrong with Stellaris, but it shouldn't. So that's weird. Never know. If I have to spend tomorrow fixing this save, I swear. I've been getting a bunch of editing done though. This week has been hectic. I got a lot of editing done despite things. I'm substitute teaching. I've talked about that I think a fair bit at this point. And I've been I was supposed to take over teaching like this geometry class for the rest of the year, which I'm still kind of doing, but they technically have like another teacher doing it who used to work there, who was a geometry teacher. So it's a little bit strange. And they had a test this week that I was working on, helping with and stuff, which is good. I don't think they did very well. Dude, I get why high school teachers get burnt out now. I really understand. Like, I really have gone out of my way to try and help those kids and to try and get them to pass the class and improve their grades. Like, I really tried. They're so fucking angry and hostile. It's like, when I first, like the first couple days it was fine, but then they just, you know, I get hating math. I hated math in high school too. Like, I understand that, but it's so strange when like you go out of your way to try and help someone and they get angry at you for it. It's such a weird thing, which has reinforced my stance that I never want to teach high school. I now believe with that with every fiber of my being. So it's been interesting, that's for sure. Hopefully they did well, but I looked at their tests when they handed them in and it didn't look good. Lag, that's fine. There's gonna be lag. I'm gonna run it on normal speed for a little bit just in case, and then I'll go to a higher speed. We'll see if that's stable. Fleet 2. Like I said, on the macro level for this war, right? The High Admiralty and the High Command for the UNE and the UNS would acknowledge that terminal egress is our priority. So building up that station, which we should already be doing, getting our fleets there to defend it when it will get attacked by the contingency, right? Building up defense platforms. That's our number one priority. All our resources are going into that. We obviously do have to worry about that contingency world attacking those who remember the dark and pushing towards us. We do have some very good space stations we built up with the kind of Cold War we had with them, but I don't think they could stop even one of those fleets. So we kind of have two big areas we need to focus on: the L cluster and then the contingency world, which is expanding very quickly, of course. Because we are very close with the Preserver Republic, and we have rebuilt our relations with those who remember the dark. So we are kind of almost obligated, and strategically we kind of will need to deploy fleets there to assist them. The other big thing I talked about last session, uh-oh, come on, you got this. There we go. Is if the contingency like goes hard enough and like it's just screwing up everyone and there's no hope, I am going to manually do a save edit to get the fallen empires to wake up and fight it. So that's kind of like our Hail Mary if it gets that far, which it probably will. The contingency is very rough. Their fleets are insanely big, so I think that's the way this will go. And then it will be everyone versus the crises, including the fallen empires. They can't be socially awkward forever. They have to come out one day. They're just like, you know, our cousin living in the basement. They gotta come out one day. All right, I think we're good. I'm gonna put up the speed one more. I'm really hoping it's because I turned off Steam and we're good. What's up, Faye? How are you doing? Good to see you. Hope you've got your bottle of water. Bottle of water. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, the dragons came out of the L cluster, and we actually have some of our in our borders, but really, I don't know where that event chain goes, and I'm really trying to avoid looking at the event chain. Because it's more interesting in Stellaris, when you just kind of let them play out, you don't know what's going on. Some of the really fun events that they wrote for this game, the first time you experience them and you don't know what happens is so freaking fun. Like, especially the horizon signal. So good. Genetically modify one planet? Yeah, I want to wait to make sure the game won't crash, but then absolutely, yeah. We'll see. Give it a bit here. If we get to 65, we're chilling, I think. The lag is still pretty strong, but thankfully the contingency will actually be helping with our lag issues. They're going to destroy enough worlds, I think, that we're going to get the lag down by quite a lot here pretty quickly. The one good thing of their Thanos snap they're currently doing. Oh man, the Espinacan sovereignty is going to disappear so fast. They only have 3 planets, I think. And they're all right next to the contingency. Contingency protocol in effect. I clicked on them, didn't I? Right, we're in March. I'm just getting like flashbacks to Vic 3 right now. With bugs. Okay, while we're waiting, let's go ahead and look and see if we can do anything more with leader foci for Angelo Torres. See if he has any slots we can do here. He does. He has some points. All right, we'll throw them into inspiration, and then military. I would say probably ship designer. I mean, we're all military, right? He is very much a wartime president in every sense of the word. Words, plural. We got the really good one. We'll do another in ship fire. There was a good one here, wasn't there? I know a few of these actually have like military stuff, if I remember correctly. I also gotta go to research in a minute, because we are currently in the process of doing top secret research on a couple techs that could potentially save us in the coming war. They're gonna be pretty pivotal here. Looks like not for some reason. We'll upgrade technician amount though. Hopefully that'll deal with some of our energy deficit. Okay, for the most part that's good. I want to hold on to ruler campaign execution points for when we actually have to fight their fleets. The techs we're currently working on are arc emitters, which are so big for anti-shields, which is what the contingency ships are built around. Psionic weapons, which I've never done because it's with this mod, so that's huge. And we're also going to be able to get Titans here pretty soon. We're also working on the station upgrade for one of our shipyards to be able to make the Juggernaut, so that's huge too. Look at that real quick. Holy fuck. Is that it? Academy.
Research complete.
Colossal shipyards. Make sure I'm not building it somewhere else already. Nope. No, we're building on Nile. Never mind. That's the hub for the Navy and the L cluster. So we'll wait until that's done. And then we're going to immediately begin construction of a Juggernaut. Make sure we also max out our shipyards there. Again, if a terminal egress falls, Nile will fall regardless, so I'm not even going to build any defensive arrays on it. He has psychic weapons. Let's go see what that is in just a moment. And these are super useful, are they? We'll do synth gas processing. Get more gas surplus there, which is very useful for science buildings. All right, and then let's go see if we get any like special components or what does psychic weapons give us? I thought we had to do more researches. Unlocks development of psionic weapons and components. No, so we are going to have to research them, it looks like. So I guess we got to just wait to roll the text, I think is what it is for it. Like when you get megastructure engineering and then you have to manually do like the researches for each type, I would imagine it's going to be the same for psionic weapons. So we just have to wait until these refresh. Yo, you haven't been here since Vicky 3, Faye? That was like 6 months ago, 8 months ago, I think, or something like that. It was a long time ago. All right, genetic modification. Let me see if I remember how to do this. Synth infiltrator discovered. A tragic hovercar accident recently claimed several lives on New Vegas, but the emergency medical services who responded to the scene were shocked to find the remnants of a synthetic amongst the victims. So they've now reached a point we can't really distinguish them from other humans or sentient life forms, which is very bad. Great template, I think, right? A while since I've done this. And then base of the Bane of the Architects. I don't think it would make sense just to remove like our failings. The one that we're removing was put on us by, like you said earlier, right, Johnny, the shrouds. So let's add another maybe. 2-point picks left. Do we have enough for anything? Yeah, maybe. Trait picks left, none. Do we have to remove a number? Yeah, we do. Okay, we will remove wasteful then, and we'll add one more. It would need to make sense for why we are doing it, right? We've been removing it to help with a little bit with the war effort, but mainly it'd just be quality of life to be offered at gene clinics, right? So it would be something very useful that we would prioritize. So it would be kind of like changing human emotions to be less chaotic to get rid of quarrelsome and wasteful, like maybe solving some genetics that cause certain types of mental illness perhaps would make sense roleplay wise. And then remove like the Shroud's genetic modification of humanity. And then what would we replace it with? Something useful. Persistent, that's just lifespan across the board. That would make sense.
Spaceborne life forms encountered.
Better sight could make sense. Quick learners, that would make sense too. I think quick learners, or what was the other one? Persistent. Given the death, the Great Khan just died. Great Khan Dim Dekut of the Olean Corsairs is dead. According to intercepted communications, the Great Khan succumbed to the Sarakelian fever, a relatively common and often fatal disease found among the Aloi. A legacy of the poor living conditions on the space stations where most of them lived before the rise of the Corsairs. Wow, the Great Khan is dead. That is technically a good thing for the galaxy, but a bad thing in the sense that he had a lot of big fleets that are not going to be, I don't think, unified anymore to fight the Contingency. So really not a good thing. We're going to do persistent. I think it makes the most roleplay sense. What do we think? Maybe just transhuman? Neo-human, I like that. Cool, all right. So the way this is gonna go roleplay-wise is the breakthroughs in genetic engineering that the UNE have oversaw on Nyland among many other technologies that have been discovered there, right? Will be basically a breakthrough in genetic engineering for quality of life. This will be offered at gene clinics all throughout UNE space as soon as the technology reaches it, and it'll allow basically not just like newborns and future humans, but current ones to have their gene code edited. I think we'll go with removing, like, obviously the Shroud's genetic engineering that caused us fertility issues across UNE and all humans, right? And then also removing certain genetic traits that cause mental illness for like quarrelsome and what's the other one? There were two of them, right? So it's like removing mental illness and then removing like the Shroud's influence on the human genome. So it'll be optional and offered to humans as a whole, but whether or not they choose to do it is up to them. Right. Yeah, it is by world. Okay. I haven't done this in so long. We'll do Earth. We'll do New Vegas. And then we'll do some of the outer worlds too. It's actually not that expensive. Terra Nova, I don't think we will. We'll do Nyland, of course, they'd be all for that. And we'll do Hades with our military there as well. We'll say Terra Nova is actually gonna kind of the bastion of humans who refuse to have scientific experimentation on them. I'll apply that, and then we'll deal with this. Galactic Custodian appointed. At last, the Galactic Senate has voted to bestow emergency custodianship powers upon the United Nations of Earth. In an official ceremony broadcast across the galaxy, we are appointed custodians of the galactic community. As the first among equals, we will have been charged with safeguarding the galactic community from all potential threats, be they internal or external. Who would seek it harm? And whoever who would seek it harm. We have been granted vast powers in all community matters and can now propose special resolutions. Wonderful. All right, let's do that. It's actually really cheap. You subbed 6 months yesterday. That was the last time I was able to be here. And it's been a while. Been a long time. Hope everything is going good with you, Faye. All right. We are now custodians. So it is obviously going to be our duty to prepare the nations of the galactic community. Whoa, that is insanely good. We're going to get that tech. For the war against the Contingency. We have diplomats all over the galaxy already working with other nations to try and get them on board. But the fact that when we tried to declare a galactic emergency, the nations of the galaxy said no, is kind of gonna make things rough, right? It's a bit of a case of everyone knows we're in a crisis and we're dealing with an existential threat, but no worlds have been burned yet, right? No mass exterminations have been undergone, and many probably nations and species are hoping the problem just gets dealt with. Like the custodianship would be like, I think a bit of a case of fear, of course, but also probably almost just hoping we can just go put our resources into it and deal with the problem, and it's not going to be like anyone else's issue, right? More than anything else. I think until such time as worlds start to be burned and the contingency really makes its presence felt, we're going to be kind of acting without a lot of actual support, even though we're custodians. So let's see what we can do. I think we have a couple of unique things, right? Now that we're custodians, we can do here. If I remember correctly. Weak focus still. Oh, yeah, term limits, custodian reforms, and galactic institutions. I think Galactic Defense Force would be first, right? Damage to Crisis United Front, that'd be huge too. All right, we're gonna start by forming the GDF and then we'll go for United Front. To better protect the members of the community, a standing multinational force under the unified command of the Galactic Custodian must be established. So basically we're gonna pool resources and take people from a number of the nations of the galactic community and form a separate force, kind of working in a similar manner to the fleet for the UNS currently already is, which we do have those fleets. We're just not the head of the Federation. All right, first step. Those fleets will be built probably on Nylea, and then they will be sent to the terminal egress to hold that position. If we get a large enough fleet with a GDF fleet and our own, we will be able to start actively responding and going after contingency worlds, but we're not even close yet, are we? We got a ways to go. And then let's, can we do an emergency measure? Try to do that if we can here. Emergency measure, there we go. All right, we'll put it to a vote immediately. It will still take a year though. Actually, can we just, I think there's a way to executive overrule, right? No, we can't end the session. We have to wait until half is done. So half a year, and then we'll just end the session. Cool. All right, shield modulation, that increased our shield quality by quite a lot. Great timing on that. Focused arc emitter. That would be huge for our battleships. Best and cheapest viewers. Oh god. Let me ban this bot real quick. Man, I've been having issues on my Discord with bots and now on Twitch. They are really getting active, man. Frickin' bots. Wait, no, that was the wrong person. Apologies, Johnny. I accidentally clicked your name. That is a big L. All right, he's unbanned. That was my fuck up. I apologize. Alrighty, almost done with the Titan research. We're gonna build one of those, but we need to obviously build a Juggernaut first. Let's see if we can do that yet. We should be able to. Theoretically. You can research dark matter drawing. Let me take a look. All right, we need 3,000 alloys. It's a total of 5,000 for the Juggernaut. Let's see if we can do some trade with some of the other galactic nations here and make up that difference. We've got a good amount of volatile motes to trade at the moment. We'll go to the usual suspects that we apply for alloys. Hopefully they, god damn it, are not impoverished. The Trojans, but I mean, they kind of need theirs right now, don't they? Everyone does, to be fair. Of course they have alloys. Jesus Christ. I get the mild feeling that the Trojans are doing a bit of metagaming, but I'm all here for it because we need it right now. Volatile motes. I think that should cover almost all of these. Yeah. So that will do us mighty good. First it's 25 days in 10 days on Discord, and now it's on Twitch too. Yeah, for real. I don't know what's going on with bots. Maybe I'm just attracting them. Realistically, there's probably just more around these days. That's gonna be a really weird thing. I'm not gonna go on a tangent, but are you guys ready for like AI bots that like are gonna be really hard to actually distinguish, you know? Who will be able to like do advertising or collect data or like interact with you in most settings and you won't know the difference? Because right now you can identify bots very easily, right? It's always very clear, whether it's a chat AI or just, you know, ones like that. But with AI technologies, that's not gonna stay that way for very long, I don't think. So many commanders. Right. Good, we've got the alloys. We are only missing volatile motes. We'll just wait one month here. Actually, we can design the Juggernaut. I think I already did, but I want to make sure. In case I gave it a really stupid design. Arc emitters. Strike craft, which we have no choice. We really need better techs for those. We'll do one phase disruptor, then we'll do advanced railguns, and we'll do X-rays. Good. Yeah, hostile aura, that's going to be so big for winning battles against the Contingency. It reduces their shields. Huge. And then we'll throw in a singularity reactor. I mean, we have plenty of power, though. We don't need more, though, do we? So much power. No, we don't need one. We have so much power, I almost feel like I'm doing something wrong here, but... Alrighty, it'll work. Anyone have a name suggestion for the class, like the name of the Juggernaut, folks? Anyone got a good name? I won't do a poll or anything, just like, anyone got a good name for it? Do the first one that's pretty solid. What's up, Orion? How are you doing? Good to see you. Friendo, how are you doing? Thank you for the 12 months. 12 months, 1 year already. God damn. The Atlas, that's a good one. That is a very good one. It will have a heavy burden, won't it? And basically try and save the galaxy. Just one volatile mole. The Juggernaut's so big. Could have just bought some, but it's fine. Okay, well, that out of the way, we need to also do the Galactic reform to give us more of a fleet cap. That's going to be really important here. But after we get the GDF passed, we'll have another 150 we can do. So we'll make a new fleet with our excess alloys. If we still have more remaining, we will do the reform to allow us to get a larger fleet size. We'll build that up. I think we could get a 500,000 fleet size here within 5 years, maybe. I hope that's enough time. This is going to be a bit of a case where we're going to have to make that strategic decision to like not deploy the fleet and let billions suffer, right? We're going to essentially have to let a lot of people die here because it is on our shoulders as the custodian to stop the contingency. We are a very idealistic and virtuous nation, but we're a realistic one who's fought enough wars. We know that there's cost to victory, right? We can't just flow our fleet at the first world that's about to be destroyed and have it be annihilated. We will lose this war and the rest of the galaxy will fall. So we're going to be having to make a lot of really hard decisions here, unfortunately. This would be easy if you were playing like a nihilistic empire that was using this to get power, but it's not the case. Why is the crisis? We got the contingency that popped up and they're trying to purge the galaxy, the robot purifiers. And then we have the seedlings from the Scourge currently around in the galaxy. Nice. New Alexandria has had its ecosystem improved. Bit of a consumer good issue there, but not too bad. We have to produce more alloys. I'm going to make sure that all of our worlds are producing it. To make any changes at this point with a lag until some of those planets start burning, I have to pause the game to change anything, which is lovely. We need more volatile moles. We need to produce more of them, actually. We need jobs. When you get to in-game Stellaris and you have to fight the contingency, no matter what playstyle you use, everyone eventually starts just having to micromanage and metagame a little bit here for survival purposes. All right, we'll build an alloy foundry on Newest York. Build a gene clinic and then mote harvesting. Grades on Nyland, which is one of our most important worlds. Looking for a place that needs more jobs. We'll build more harvesting on Contingency as well. If we can. Thought we could. We cannot, but we'll build alloys instead. Alloy production is the most important focus for us at this time. Just need as much as we can get. Oh, we need more moles here. Is there anywhere we can get some? Crystal farms, not what we need. Uh-oh. I think we're missing a tech. Because I think the way that we've been able to build mote harvesters are on planets that have like the resource, right? That's a problem. That's a big problem. All right, which world was it? I want to say Eden. Where were we building this? This is where my Stellaris knowledge is starting to kind of become a bit of an issue. I'm not bad at it, but I'm not super knowledgeable either. Okay, one of these worlds. I maybe knew. Nope. Where are we building them? Newest York. Okay, we're gonna. We'll just build more. I think we can build more, right? Yes. Houston, we have a problem. Anyone who plays Stellaris a lot, what's a good way to like just produce a bunch more volatile motes? Is it a tech I'm missing or does anyone know? I mean, we'll make do if we have to, but that's gonna be really unfortunate if we can't produce a lot of those. We also did found on Spanucci Station, which is going to be where we are going to base out the Naval High Command. So let's build a gene clinic, of course. We'll build a robotic assembly plant there to provide jobs on the station, a holo theater, and then what buildings for the Navy? We'll do a naval command post as well. We can just buy volatile moles, but they're so expensive. All the specialized goods are in Stellaris. If you're trading with AI or you're trading on the market, it costs a lot. I'm gonna automate this world. I've had issues with this in the past, but we just have too many worlds at this point. Automation, and then we're going to... Yeah, we'll just let it do it at once. We'll do that on all the new colony worlds we're working on here. Uh-oh. Is game laggy? Not sure. Ooh, that lag. I hate to say it, but I hope the contingency starts moving more. President Angela Torres, we understand that your empire is home to an individual whose brilliant mind... You're not getting Antonio Mendez. How fucking dare you? Well, the talents of Antonio Mendez are sadly wasted in you, and you can go fuck yourself, dude. We, Gorvegutian, always have a use for skilled scientists to work in our archive. You can fuck right off, not a chance. They wanted Mendez, the legend herself, our immortal ex-president slash scientist. You're not getting Mendez. Not a chance. Gotta love the fallen empires. No shame, literally. An ex-president and scientist, they're like, hey, will you trade her for like a bit of clout? Fuck these dudes. Necroids. Okay. Juggernaut, are we working on it yet? No, we have a lot more Corvettes we're completing. I'm just gonna cancel a bunch of those. We need to get working on the Juggernaut. That is absolutely of prime importance right now. Still get those YouTube pop-ups. I don't know why. Probably looking on defense platforms. Still got a lot we're building up. We'll need to upgrade them all too. It's the fleet power of our station now. 134,000. I can start building the Titan on our other big ship production world we have, which is closer to Earth. Where are you at? We can hopefully complete the Titan and the Juggernaut around the same time. I think we have the upgrade for it. We don't. Let's build that now. I think it's Colossal Assembly Yards, right? Or do we not need anything for it? I'll just wait on it then. Okay, supremacy, we went for that, given the current situation, obviously. I'm gonna do Fleet Logistic Corps yet, because we haven't started to really fight. And then our next big priority is obviously gonna be overwhelming force for that fire rate. With ships often deployed across vast interstellar distances, a dedicated logistic corps is needed to make things run smoothly. Less upkeep, which is really big, and then a bunch more naval capacity, so we can expand the fleet even more. Meeting new interesting species. We've met most of them at this point, really. I mean, I guess the Contingency, if they count, they're pretty interesting in a terrifying kind of way. Can we modify another species? Yes, but not at the moment. We need all of our society research and all our research going towards the war at the moment. Genetic manipulation will be more a quality of life thing. We will do it, but at the present, it's not the biggest priority. Lag. Try and go fastest and see if we can run it. I think we should be able to. Okay. I'm hoping we roll some psionic weapon researches here. But again, if we get those focused arc emitters on our battleships and on our Juggernaut, we get the Juggernaut done, we build a Titan, I think we can hold terminal egress from at least one fleet, potentially. We'd lose a lot, but I think we do hold it. Claws of Ivory just got arrested development. He's a scientist, though, so not the biggest deal. Horde reverts to old ways. The death of the Great Khan has also proved the killing blow for the many reforms that were instituted by the Oli to turn into disorganized marauder clans into a consolidated galactic empire. None of the warlords who succeeded the Great Khan have shown the least bit of interest in continuing these reforms, and they, as a result, have reverted to old ways of their violent marauder past. Again, kind of a bad thing, but at least the, what are they called? The Sadrians are going to be, we can work with them again. They're the Democratic Crusaders who were subjugated by the Great Khan. We used to have agreements with them, so we're going to go ahead and institute those again. Given the situation, I'm also going to get us a research pact with the Cerosians. There's very few, I think, in the galaxy we would not currently be willing to work with, given the crisis and the fact we're the Galactic Custodian, right? So things we would normally not do, we are now willing to. The Ketling Star Pack declared their allegiance to the Great Khan, and now they're going to be invited into the Federation. Absolutely. We failed to help them before. We'll help them now, at least. That's huge. We'll build that for more alloys. We got our production up to 238. And it succeeded. Or no, we have to vote. And then we are going to try and invite the Empire of the Dying Sun too. We still can't. They are a declared Federation member of the State of the Gavazol. A rival to Federation member, State Gavazol has declared them a rival. Okay, I see. So they're rivals with one of our members, the Gavazol. So we actually can't invite them. I can do a save edit because he used his points for this. Unrival them, and then we'll let the chips fall where they may. There we go. Rivalry. Rivalry. Let's see if that works. If the vote fails, the vote fails, though. I will not manually make it happen. They're also not at peace, so we can't invite them. They're currently at war with the Stormwall Defense Corp. It might not fail, actually. Well, we'll offer it and see if it goes through. We'll invite them association status and see if that goes. Can we check physics? I think we might get dark matter drawing. Yeah, we'll check it. I want to complete the arc emitter, though. Dark matter drawing. Yeah, that's the one we need. You're right about that. I do want to finish focused arc emitter though, because these are going to be so important for winning the war. And then we'll do dark matter drawing, and then we'll hopefully, I think after that, get those dark matter weapons. Because I know there are dark matter weapons with the mods. Let's keep an eye on those worlds. What I find most scary right now is that the contingency worlds are not doing anything. God, those fleets, look at that. I think they're just building up strength. I bet they're developing their worlds. Let's look. I think we have eyes on this one. Yep. They're moving. Still empty. Hopefully they're not bugged. There is always a chance like they're bugged with the mods I have on. They are expanding though. I think the Shagodians are going to get hit first. Thankfully, they're not going for the Cerosians. Cerosians are, again, the scientific knowledge of the non-fallen empire civilizations. This is our battleship cruiser fleets. I know we have a full contingent of battleships somewhere though, don't we? Yeah. The Draconis. Okay, I'm gonna keep building up the fleet of the Draconis too when we can here. We've got the alloys for it, and we now have the naval caps, so we're gonna upgrade that fleet. The Draconis is our like gigantic ship we recovered from that ancient battle like shipwreck where all the, I think it's over the planet of Draconis. And I'm building basically a bunch of corvettes that are pickets to surround it, so hopefully we can keep it around longer. Synth infiltration attempts. Synthetic infiltrators loyal to the Contingency have recently discovered on Ungava, attempting to pass as neo-humans. Fortunately, their crew disguises consisted of little more than layers of rubble worn on top of their metallic faces. So I guess they're not consistent in being unrecognizable. That's good at least. We got Baron Victor Jaredin too, who's a renowned commander. Hopefully he's alive long enough for these battles that are coming. We will very much need him. And then how's our reconciliation attempts going with those who remember? That was kind of one of the big policies of Angelo Torres. Good, they're almost out of receptive. We've got a ridiculous amount of envoys there. It's not changing. What if we send them a gift? Maybe that would help. I think that'll bump us over. Getting on good relations with them is so important now. What can we even do at this point? I mean, if we're just stuck with like lukewarm relations with them, that's better than nothing. But I was really hoping we could get to the point we could actually work with them to actually fight that contingency world that we're both close to. Unfortunate. Strategic Coordination Center. Yeah, that'd be big if we could get that built on Nile. We'll go for that. Because if I remember correctly, it allows you to see the whole Galactic. No, that's the Sentry LA. Doesn't it give you a bunch of military bonuses for your fleet, if I remember correctly, for that mega structure? Which, given where the Custodian would be very important. All right. 7 years for the Juggernaut. Holy Christ. That is unfortunate. I think so. Yeah. I'm going to look this one up on the wiki, actually. Strategic Coordination Center. Each stage gives naval capacity, star-based platforms, defensive platforms, and then sublight speed, which is actually important in combat to a fair degree. But the naval capacity bonus alone is pretty huge. Yeah, very much worthwhile kidding. Because right now we're kind of constrained by our naval cap, which won't let us go higher, but our ships aren't as strong as the Contingency, right? So we just can't field a big enough navy to fight them. So our tech will help with that, but barring that, more naval cap will be huge. We're going to get the GADF fleet in 12 days. Then we're going to be able to get the, hopefully, resolution giving us 150 more naval cap. When we get our next Ascension perk, we'll probably go Defenders of the Galaxy, which I think gives some more too. So we should be able to field a pretty insane fleet here if we are careful. As a reminder, also, the next couple streams in the last part of Stellaris, I'm going to obviously keep role-playing, but like, it's going to be mainly just mechanical, trying to fight the crisis. Be warned. The Senate has ratified the creation of a standing multinational military force intended for the defense of the galactic community. The GDF will recruit its personnel from all community members, who are also required to contribute resources towards the construction of its fleets. With the galaxy engulfed in turmoil and under constant threat by forces that seek to exterminate all sapient life, it is hoped that the GDF will be able to bring the fight to the enemy and secure the borders of the community. They will be placed under the direct command of the UNE, the Galactic Custodians. The galaxy will be a safer place. Okay, let's do our next reform, if we can. We'll do Galactic mobilization next for the fleet bonus, and then we'll do the United Front, which gives us the bonus when fighting them. Galactic mobilization. That's the one. Okay. 90 days, and then we can do another one. I don't suppose you could bottleneck them into a space anomaly. That would be very nice, but I don't think we're gonna get that lucky. I mean, if they hit us in the terminal egress, that's kind of our best bet, I think. If we get to be on the defensive, hopefully we have like the fully upgraded Bastion, right? We have the Juggernaut there that has that aura effect reducing their shields in all our fleets. Like that that's where we need to make the fight happen, hopefully. That's the best case scenario. If we don't get that, we'll have to go chase them down, and given how slow Juggernauts are, if I remember correctly, that could get very difficult.
Spaceborne life forms encountered.
Huh. We'll just do some of those point bonuses so we can reroll techs. AX-130 is really far out from other systems. Which one, Orion? You mean this one? Oh, you mean in the L cluster, I bet, don't you? No. Wait, where are you talking about? Yeah, Galactic Conscription. You know what I'm going to definitely edit into the YouTube videos for that? I'm going to just use all the footage from Helldivers. I'm just going to use all the Helldiver footage and play the song. That's what the GDF will have. GDF is just going to be the Helldivers for the galaxy, which will have aliens in it, so it's going to be really ironic and funny. Salvation Protocol is ahead on tech 2. Let's go ahead and get a research agreement with them. We can't because they're robots. Anyone else with high tech? The Locusts actually have more tech than we do. A hive mind, so we can't do that either. Another synth infiltrator. There's a lot of them, it seems, in our systems, and there's really nothing we can do. Upgrade those gas refineries. The reason why we're not making enough volatile moles is to get like the higher level alloy foundries. We need them, and I think it's got a maintenance cost, so we're kind of hitting an economic barrier there for production, or expansion, I guess, rather. Our reserve, my gosh, I can't speak today. Our resort world cooling mesh system. I think we don't militarize it though. Like, we need one place in the galaxy to kind of be relaxing, at least until we have to do otherwise, so. We'll just leave it as it is. We'll let officers and soldiers go there on holiday. It's automated. We don't have to worry about that one. Looks pretty fucking cool next to that black hole though. If we actually get a fight here, it's gonna be so fucking cool looking. Every once in a while, the visuals of Stellaris just make me go like, whoa, and I have to stop and just stare at it for a while. Mainly black holes or nebulas. 180-degree pivot. It's funny. Alrighty.
Spaceborne life
They're moving.
encountered.
They are not. The one near us has started to expand. I think they took another system there. Hammurabae. The Zero Corp's going to be destroyed almost certainly too. Not that we use them for anything. The Curators are going to be destroyed. Oh no, the Curators are right next to the Contingency. Bolt from beyond. Without any warning, a formidable psionic backlash of unprecedented magnitude has struck our civilization, casting us into a state of profound disarray and uncertainty. A sense of resolution from all sources has been greatly diminished, resulting in much shorter sensor ranges. The Shroud still loves us. Raul Scholl's just pissed off as fuck, as usual. Nice. Let's get that research bonus. I thought we had it, but we didn't. AX 130. That one? The one out in the middle of nowhere in the Cryova, right? Yeah, it is pretty isolated, isn't it? Pretty big system too. A lot of planets around it. I mean, if it was isolated, it would make sense it would have drawn in more objects like that. It's kind of weird, huh? What the hell are all these fleets doing? Where did all these corvettes come from? Just gonna send them all to the terminal egress. We'll do it that way. Deadlands. Surface scans reveal the planet to be covered in dissected flatlands, large areas covered in fine dusty sediment. Analysis shows that the sediment traces are all that is left of extensive tracts of vegetation that must have died and dried out with unnatural speed. Furthermore, many of the dry patches have crumbled to reveal a vast cave system beneath the surface. The surveying trip just turned into a spelunking expedition. That's interesting, but if it doesn't have military applications, we're not very interested. Human curiosity still exists, but it is taking a back seat to basically survival at the moment. But again, I think roleplay-wise, most people in the galaxy would not fully have felt the situation, right? Like, there'd probably be videos and stuff of the fleets, right? And a couple fleets have been destroyed. But until such time as we see a planet get exterminated by the Contingency, I think roleplay-wise, it makes a lot of sense for it just not to be as big of a focus as it should be. Yeah, they're popping out more fleets. That's what they're doing right now. Beautiful. I think we did. Let me go look. No, we can't. They still have us rivaled. They're cordial now. Good. I'm hoping that they'll unrival us and then we can. We're not rival to them, but they are rival to us. It has taken years, but we are making progress in rebuilding relations with them. Just keep on this track. It's not going up anymore either. This kind of comes down to them. We're putting all of our effort into trying reconciling, but they have to be willing to. And right now it looks like they are still not really willing to. They hold a grudge. We can't judge, so do we. We do need a Titan assembly yard. All right, let's go see if we can build one on our other station. Make one of those. Two years? I think Titans take 4 or 5 years to build, right? Something like that. I know it's a while. It's like they got made and then they didn't reinforce. That's so weird. I think you do too. All right, let's see. 11 days. We're just gonna let it go. It's gonna be the next one, so I'm not gonna waste our emergency measure. We'll use it on the next reform. Man, look at our diplomatic weight compared to everyone else. That's kind of crazy. I mean, we did go for, I think, 2 or 3 different traditions in diplomacy, so. Humans are literally the hyper-charismatic, well-liked species in the galaxy, like every other sci-fi canon. We're staying consistent. Name underscore calf. Nice.
Research complete.
Okay. Plasma afterburners, big. Improved strikecraft. We gotta upgrade that. Given the Juggernaut relies on it, and having some actual carrier ships would be really big. So I am gonna try and knock those out if we can. So do we now have that the most powerful fleets? I think so. What's our total fleet power? We have around 270,000 fleet power. I think we're about on the level of the Empire of the Dying Sun. I did try and offer them association status, by the way, and the members of the Galactic community denied, or the members of the UNS Federation denied them. So, but we're not hostile. We're still friendly with them. Though we are very different in terms of ideology and past. They are still humans. Versus the Warform fleet. I think, can't you check it this way too? No, they don't factor ships in. Interesting. We are 6 after all the old empires. That's cool. Surgeon's tech is just ridiculous. At the moment, we're just really waiting on fleets to build up, the Juggernaut to be completed, and the Contingency to start to move, so there's not a lot to do. And every time I start to micromanage, we lag more, so I'm just kind of waiting. This will not be the most exciting portion of Stellaris. I'm hesitant to reinforce after that weird bug. Where's the Warform ship? The one that it came with? I'm not too sure, actually. I might have moved it to the terminal egress. I'll be on one of these fleets here. The Jaegers. There it is, the Warform. I will send this one back to go hide. Because I think, correct me if I'm wrong, if it's destroyed, doesn't the Warform die? We'll send it to Cantus. We want to be careful with that. Also, I think enough time has gone by. I'm going to... the Warform, roleplay-wise, will be formally back as Minister of Defense on the Council. He was taken off of it after the investigation into synthetics being under the control of the Contingency and was thoroughly grilled by Uni Committee hearings, but he has been found to have no relation to the Contingency and to have total sovereignty. So he's back as our Minister of Defense, which is good because he is so capable. It's kind of ridiculous. We have 2 legendary traits on our council right now. It's really nice. We'd have 3 if we put Mendez in government, but she is currently drinking mojitos on what's the name of that planet, that resort world, which I never named it. No, it's not that one. On Torresina. No, wait, where was she? Rapture. Yeah, she's on Rapture drinking mojitos in retirement, kind of. She's also running the planet, but for her, that's nothing, so. She'll be called back soon enough, I think. If Angela Torres is not capable, there is always the Mendez measure in our constitution. She can be brought back in times of trouble. Again, she's the one who got immortal after having a accident with a, what was it, a time crystal or something that made her immortal? The legend herself. Star in need of jobs. Robots, yep. I'm gonna move them. We can mainly resettle the robots because they're not intelligent. That sounds harsh, but it is true. We'll send them to... What's the planet with all the volatile mold production on it? Continuing? Forgotten Reliquary. The crew clearing the land of GN 664 Prime has made a breathtaking discovery. Hidden in plain sight amongst the planetary features, they found an ancient ruins of an unknown civilization, dating from before our presence on this planet. So far they have excavated has revealed remnants of an ancient structure almost completely covered in strange symbols and markings. Our scientists are already eager to examine the ruins and have requested they establish a proper archaeological site. Absolutely. The creation of a new and modern UNE anthem. It will be obligatory to sing it every morning in each school in the UNE. We're not going proto-authoritarians. We're not doing that. You stand against everything the UNE stands for. Since a lot of people aren't voting right now, I'm not going to put that to a poll because I think that's a case of like democracy tyranny where it'll be like 2 people vote for it and then it will go through. So I'm delaying your vote. I'm gonna be tyrannical to stop tyranny. Where's the volatile moles are on Igni? Can we build more of them? Check that again. Build alloy foundry as well. Now we've maxed out. We have more jobs here though, so we're gonna move the robots to Igni. I might need a pause for this. Late game Stellaris for 2,000 stars is very unforgiving on anything. I still don't regret making it this big. I think it has made things much more grand for the end of our grand campaign here. They're not working there either. Transit hub needs to be over the planet, I guess. Automatic resettlement to other colonies is only enabled for slaves and non-sapient robots, but they're non-sapient robots. If a transit hub or slave processing facility is okay. So we would need a station over these worlds with a transit hub. That's really annoying. But we can manually do it. Or we can just make more jobs for the robots. We'll do it that way. What do we need a lot more of? We'll build more industrial districts. I think they can work those jobs, so that should be fine. We need to bolster our production and research by occupying and using every non-biological friendly planet as possible. If anything, it'll add more targets and slow down the contingency. I mean, the policy of the UNE has been like slow expansion, which is why we have like a lot of worlds, but not an insane amount. I think pivoting on that wouldn't be the best idea, especially since if we use synthetics to colonize, they would also be under the control of the contingency. So it's a bit of a tough situation. And also we could just, you know, cause the economy to collapse if we expand too quickly. So that's a bit delicate. I see your reasoning for it though. Oh, internally bolstering. Plume of Ebony, we will make an admiral. He's one of our better admirals, if I remember correctly. Contingency, not moving. Moving slowly. Not moving. Building more fleets, though. Then we'll upgrade them all too. I do want to build an ion cannon. We'll have to destroy one, I think. Or no, we'll remove the last one. There's not enough room. How much space does it take up? If we delete a couple defensive platforms, I think we can build the ion cannon. If I remember right. $30 slots. Holy Christ. That's not worth it. All right, we'll build the rest of those defensive platforms. Missing 22 slots. Is it bugged? We'll let the upgrading happen and not touch that. All right, in session, Galactic mobilization will go through. Wonderful. Unanimously, too. I think the other civilizations in the galaxy are waking up to what exactly we're dealing with. Finally. Took them way too long. Major empire choice. Well, what is it? You're using points for it, or what do you mean? All right, we have to wait for more reforms here. Still no support for the contingency. What other proposals could be useful militarily here? There's got to be some more stuff. Militarily. Cloaking, nope. Nope. I don't think we can declare the contingency a crisis. No, that's just nations. Enemy my enemy. Grants to counterattack fastest ability. Ship naval capacity up 30%, but ship upkeep increase 15%. Intermediate support. Would that pass though? That's the thing. That could be very useful. All the big ones would go for it, and we could call in some favors if need be. Yeah, we'll go for that. Enemy of my enemy. And then I'm going to just emergency measure it immediately. Come on. Those who remember the dark are just voting against anything we propose, I think, at this point is how this is going. Oh, gotcha. When it goes off cooldown, you can, Johnny. I think we get it. Let's see. That would give us, I think, like another 150 fleet capacity. So we could build another big fleet. Got improved strike craft. Wonderful. Gauss cannons. How many alloys is it for the Strategic Coordination Center? I think it's 15,000, so you probably want to start trading for it. No, the initial level is 5,000, the site's 5,000, and then stage 1 is 15,000, so we've got some time. It'll take 15 years before we have stage 1 completed, though. Gotta hope that we have that long. There was one that gave explicit military bonuses. Nope. Oh, base game megastructures at least. Whatever tradition. Given we're not fighting battles, I'm going to go for ones that are more like practically useful before we just take the fire rate, which is big, but we'll take the ship build speed so the Juggernaut gets done quicker, then we'll go for war games, and then we'll go to overwhelming force. If at any point the contingency starts to rapidly expand, we're going to have to go for the fire rate though, because we'll need that. Especially if they start going towards the terminal egress. I'm going to delete some of these useless construction ships. We'll need some for megastructures and repairing once the war with the contingency really gets underway if they hit our systems, but until then, they're just literally taking up energy for no reason. I think it's energy they take, isn't it? Come on, Stellaris. They don't have a maintenance cost. Strange. "39 of their ships have been destroyed." Wow. Another synthetic infiltration attempt. They're just becoming like a weekly thing at this point. Let me take a moment to think here. Yeah, our fleet capacity is up to 716 now. That's massive. Forest fires on Newest York. Several lightning strikes have caused massive forest fires. Despite the fires being quite a while ways away, I think that's miswritten, from our main colony, the smoke they created can be seen from many regions away. With some luck, these fires clear out some land for us to reclaim and use later. Nice. Remove dense force. Is this really gonna fail? Oh my god, you gotta be kidding me. Do we burn our favors for this? Do we even have the influence to burn our favors for this? That's the real question. Potentially. We can't make up the difference. I don't think. God damn it. We get up to 160,000. We're still 30,000 short. If a couple of the other undecideds go our way, we'll be fine. Tragedy of the commons in action here, ladies and gentlemen. Literally. No, the Architrix sent a science ship into contingency territory. That's not ending well. That game doesn't lag out too badly here. You poor bastard. Maybe he gets away. Might get away. But you gotta run here. Just saying. They coming. Brother, actually, what are you doing though? Like, was there a plan here or are you suicidal? He's getting bored. Maybe it was just like a scout. They'd given up their lives to scout the enemy fleet. Maybe that's what that was. We'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Well, we'll make Claws of Green an industrialist given his trade focus. I don't know how all those fleets went missing in action. Is there another solar storm? Maybe that's what it is. No, doesn't look like it. Weird. No idea. Superboy is still around. He is a governor of one of our worlds. Hedis, Scion of Vagros. It's a very unforgettable name, isn't it? I think he got put on like one of the big worlds. I want to say New Alexandria. No. Where did he get put? I know it was one of our larger worlds. It wasn't one of the new ones, I don't think. Might be wrong. So what happens when you stop playing a Stellaris game for 2 weeks? You come back and you have to like learn everything again because there's so much going on. New Atlantis, there he is. Kitty Sign of Vecros. He's the governor of New Atlantis. It was a political appointment to basically allow him to show if he's going to be a capable leader or not, which we would assume he is given his talents, but he's got to prove himself, right? We are a democracy. So if he wants a position in government or at higher levels or on the council, he's got to prove himself. So New Atlantis and his governorship there of a solid, not super backworld, but not super important planet was kind of his opportunity to prove himself. So he's been doing a pretty good job. Given a little while longer on that, and I'll probably appoint him to something higher because his stats are very good and he's a very interesting person. He can't reproduce? No, I don't think so. I don't think there's an event for that, but I've never had it, so I don't know. Yeah, he's the last of his species. Maybe with our recent genetic engineering breakthroughs, we'll be able to find a way for him to procreate and have kids. Only 152. That's not enough. Just not enough. All right, they're moving again. Contingency fleets are beginning to purge the Grelric, I think. Yep, the Grelric. Is that another contingency world? I guess that is the fourth. It was bugged before, but I guess there's 2 up here and then 2 down there. Yeah, the Grelric fleet got annihilated there.
Tile blocker clear.
We need to try and trade for some more alloys to upgrade the fleet, I think. That's probably the play here. Let's go see if we can get him. Any more? Maybe the Cerosians, they have a lot. Usually they produce an insane amount, I believe. Okay. Alloys for maybe rare crystals. Let's see what we can get for all of those. We've bought most of them that they have to offer. That's fine. Who else had a lot? I think the Preservers had a lot of alloys last time I tried to trade with them. They've become a pretty good trade partner of the UNE at this point, despite having very different ethics, actually. Yeah, there we go.
Research complete.
Holy shit. Yeah, they've got a good bit of alloys there. 25,000. We can't afford that. There's no way. Just give them everything we have that's valuable. Not a chance. Unless they need minerals, we might be able to afford it that way. We'll sell them like the majority. I want to keep a hold of some in case we need to do more building though. We'll sell them 44,000. Food? Nope, they don't need that. We have nothing else really valuable. All right, let's see what we can get for that. It'll be a good amount. We can get 14,000. That's still insane. We can build 2 new fleets at least with that. Got the Archimetters as well. Archimetter 2s. We'll work on dark matter drawing. The fuck are my neighbors doing? It's no longer cold, so all of my neighbors have been getting very loud again. It's gonna fail. God damn it. We have a pretty good surplus of naval capacity at least, so we can work with that. Fully reinforce the 2nd Fleet. We will fully reinforce the 5th Fleet. And then we'll see where that gets us, and then I'll build another fleet with whatever naval capacity we have still remaining. What's our total fleet strength up to? Around 300,000. What are we short on? Maybe living metal? Do we need living metal? We might. Do we have a dark matter deposit? That I don't know. Yep, 1 there. We got 2. There were a good amount of black holes. 4, 6, 8. We have a good bit actually. 8 dark matter production is what we can get up to. Not amazing, but not the worst either. In the L cluster? No. Yeah, 8 dark matter. We'll be able to produce that much. Yeah, don't you get a building like game as well that lets you like put out dark matter explicitly? I think you do. I can't remember though. Joshua Atkins, our Minister of State, has retired. We are in need of a replacement. He's served for a long time. I want to say like 60 years or something. He was all through Mendez, and I think he was a couple leaders before that too. For our Minister of State's replacement, maybe Keaty, son of Agros? He'd be a pretty good Minister of State. I'm very biased towards him though. No, but he's a scientist, not an official, so we can't even do that. All right, who else would be good? There's always Ficomont. Wow, that's a lot of shipbuilding speed. Ship's starting experience too. Kamini, she'd be perfect in wartime like this, and she's a trader. We'll go for her. She'd be a good Minister of State. I mean, technically her duties like do not pertain to the military, but given we're custodian preparing to fight an existential crisis, it'd all be pretty well connected. Yep, the Espinakins are almost gone. They're moving slower than I thought they would be. Or maybe that's just a lag. How long I wonder until we start to get like noticeable lack of lag. Aussie breakthrough, nice. I'm gonna play the contingency song. Minor artifacts for research. Yeah, I think that cooldown on that is probably done. No, it's not yet. Getting there. It's 10 years. We'll go for experience gain. Yeah. Not really worth getting energy credits for them anymore. How are we with? Still will not get over that war. Oh, it's the Catlings. Nice. They're psionic too. I didn't notice that. Hopeless pessimists. Oh no. Let's offer them a research pack. They're pacifists. They're nice. Hopeless pessimists. Jesus. They were the ones who got declared war on by the Shigodians, and we tried to go to war to defend them, but our Federation was unwilling to fight the war, so they declared their allegiance to the Great Khan. But now that he's dead, they're independent again. Poor guys. I think they're in our Federation now too. Yeah, they are. They're actually kind of strong. They're shockingly strong for what they are, actually. It's weird. The new council is going to be us, the Empire of the Dying Sun, and the State of the Gavazul. Exact same it was before. All right, well, a measure has been struck down. They're trying to relocate the galactic market from Earth. Fuck you. No. We're going to... What was that? We'll veto it if we have to. Can we do any of the other custodian reforms yet? No, we cannot. 568 days, a little over a year. They're moving. Oh no, they're taking Sorosian systems. Fuck. I mean, we can't respond to it though. Because if we lose our fleet, we're done, right? It's over. But losing the Sorosians is so bad. We gotta let him get hit until we build up our fleet more, until we get the GDF expanded. We can't. It sucks. Speaking of GDF, let's make a GDF fleet as well. We should send an expedition to study the enemy. Is that a thing we can do, Balmadillon? I don't think there's anything in the situation log for that. The Great Khan taught them war. Yeah, apparently, Johnny, he did. Can I build a GDF Juggernaut by chance? No, doesn't look like it. That would be a little busted. Oh, that's where it is. Okay. Do you get all the techs in the galactic community for the GDF ships? Because I don't recognize psionic beam cannons. I think I'd remember that name, or dragon breath cannons for that matter. You must be able to use any tech for the galactic community members. It's only for the GDF. I see. Okay. Wow. Okay. What do we got for shields? Anti-shield damage. These all are anti-armor, which we don't want. And cloud lightning. A lot of range on it though, is there? All these weapons prioritize armor. Except for cloud lightning. Holy fuck, what's a perdition beam? What the fuck? We can throw entire asteroids at their ships. Yeah, I'll take one of those, please. Perdition beams focuses on armor, which we don't want. We want to take down their shields, so we're gonna throw asteroids at them, I guess. We get psionic shields. Fucking massive. Wow. Khosrow. Biomaterial armor plus food. Pulse armor. I think this is probably the best. We'll go for that. What the fuck are these components? The active armor. Across the board shield hit point increase and daily shield regeneration, which if I remember correctly though doesn't work in a battle. All right, we got to throw one of those in regardless. Ship fire rate bonus. Daily shield regen, shield hardening. That's ridiculous. Question is, can we even power this thing? Give me a motive, folks. I'm just like a kid in a candy store right now. That's fucking ridiculous. They have jump drives too? Right, we're gonna go for more shields. Gotta keep a little bit though. We'll do it like that. Alrighty, we will. Here's our Titan. See what we can do with these battleships. Ancient statuary artillery. Oh, look at that shield damage. Fucking huge. These are ridiculous, these components we're getting for the GDF fleet. I mean, it's literally the whole galaxy coming together to stop a crisis, so it's understandable that everyone's just like pulling out all their secret military research. All right, the battleship will be long distance. We're gonna do Titans of Cloud Lightning, so we need something anti-shield long distance for battleships. Macro batteries might work. Oh, damage though, is it? 210. We'll throw one of those on there. Ancient macro batteries. What is the hang? What can we get in terms of? Disruptor lances. Whoa. This is what I was wondering about. Max level fighter strike craft. Wow. Can we have all this tech, human ambassador in the Galactic community? Pretty much, yeah. We'd like one of those and all of those, please. We only get one hangar bay though. No, carrier core. There we go. Cruisers are better as carriers though, so let's go back to just do it like this. For these, we want to make sure they hit properly. This one explosive, so those aren't useful. Evasion would be very nice. Fire control systems, I think. Yep. Just ridiculous. The Xerxes. All right, for cruisers, this will be our main hangar fleet, hangar cores. Max level point defense as well. Wow. Shield penetration. Everything penetration. Probably nanite bombers are gonna be. Bomber wings. So much stuff to figure out what even to do with here. We'll do disruptor lances, and then we'll do. Where is this? The fuck are these? Devastator torpedoes. Medium range, so those would actually work. We'll do whirlwind missiles as well. We're gonna need a lot of zero. Oh, they cost artifacts to produce. I mean, worth it, honestly. We'll pay that price. It's worth it. I think we have enough. We have a lot of artifacts currently. Destroyers will make it into gunboats. I think we can. Yeah, we can. All right. I think probably Marauder missiles on those. Is there really nothing better in the galaxy than our Marauder missiles? No? Okay. It's fine. It is jump drives. I'm not using them because I want us the ability to actually disengage from the battle, because we're going to lose battles and we need to be able to get away. 0. That's my reasoning for it, at least. That's explosive damage. We'll do standardized warheads. Then we'll do fire control systems. That will be full. Frigates. That's the torpedo boats. Not muon launchers. That's not shields. Ancient pulse armor. That's just a flat bonus to chance to invade. We're doing that. That's ridiculous. This is just all our scientists having an absolute field day. With all this like tech that we've never been able to get our hands on, we can just do whatever we want with now. All right, and then lastly, corvettes. We'll make, I think, picket ships and let the big damage be from our other ships. We can only do one though. Point defense, I think, would be wise. Then we'll throw disruption lances on there. Do auxiliary maneuvers. This is gonna be expensive. This is fun, but holy fuck, this is gonna be expensive. Okay, let's build a fleet out of this and see what we can do with it. We have a lot of alloys, thankfully, at least. Okay, GDF Titan to start off with, obviously. We'll make a few battleships. What's our fleet capacity on the GDF? Oh, we're already maxed out. Okay, given we can build picket fleets with our regular fleet and have them together and do that job, I think we just concentrate entirely on what will be doing the most damage. So I'm going to do 10 cruisers for hangars with those really good strike craft. I'll do 15. That's so good. We'll do 5 battleships. A lot more battleships. Well, no, I really do want the strike craft. 5 battleships and a Titan. Is this sleep bug too? I think it is. Not as much as I thought. 10,000 alloys and almost 500 minor artifacts. 75-0. This I don't understand. I'm worried that if I reinforce it, this is gonna bug, but I have to, don't we? All right, we're doing it. Anyway, end of that. We have a gigantic GDF fleet coming out with a bunch of. Hell? What's that? Turn up the map mode, I think. Oh, map mode. There we go. The hell did I click? I don't know what I did. Every once in a while, I think I know what I'm doing in Stellaris, and then I do something like this, and it is very clear I don't. Maybe it just bugged or something. Regardless, the state-of-the-line fleet that we are currently producing of the GDF, I think will be enough to reinforce terminal egress to stop any incoming contingency fleets. If it is good enough alongside the Juggernaut, we may be actually able to take the offensive. It might be doable. It'd be very doable if we were able to declare a frickin' crisis, but since we can't do that, it's kind of all gonna be on us. The new fleets we're reinforcing, the GDF fleet with the state-of-the-line tech, and then maybe another small fleet. We might be able to fight a contingency fleet with that. Have a good one, Orion. I will see you around. Well, we're gonna find out. Did we get those components? I want to check one last time and see, because I think it's just the GDF who have them, but we might as well take a look and see if we do. Yeah, that is explicitly for the GDF. I bet the Sorosians have all that tech. That's ridiculous. It's the only ones I can think of who would. We'll do Durasteel laced alloys to increase our alloy outputs. Well, less than 4 years for the Juggernaut. Is there an option to borrow the tech from the Galactic community? I don't think so. Maybe there's a resolution for it. Can we declare the contingency? The custodian has the ability to steer the community in a particular direction. We can just make it the Galactic focus. We're gonna do that. Awesome. So everyone's border is now open to us. We can move freely wherever we like. Awesome. That's big. How much longer? So I think we'll go for GDF expansion. The ships we get from it are just so insanely good. That's if we get a bunch of more of those. Community fleet naval capacity 400? Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we may have a shot at beating the contingency. It'll be rough, but the custodian powers are kind of broken. I don't remember them being this strong. I think it's probably the mods. Or updates with Stellaris. There's been so many. This might be doable. I mean, they're just moving so fast is the problem. So each one of the contingency worlds has around a little less than 1 million fleet power. If we could get up to 1 million, we could probably knock out one of those worlds. The alloy cost would be tremendous for real building, though. We can't even declare war on them, so we can't really get our allied fleets to follow us. Does anyone know, will the AI actually start trying to fight the contingency if you go in as well, or do they just like sit there and wait? I assume it's that. My memory, if memory serves, I think it is that. Gravity-based weaponry. Dark matter drawing facility. Yeah, there it is. For energy and for consumer goods, we produce dark matter. Go for gravity-based weaponry. I think we might be able to actually get ahead of the rest of the galaxy on military tech right now. Can we try to extend our Galactic Custodian term limit? We can. There is a reform for that. We can try and remove the term limit. We have it for 30 years, and not too much time has gone by. We might try and remove the custodianship permanently. I mean, we will give it up, right? I mean, the uni is not the type to permanently keep it. We just not want politics to play a factor when trying to defend the fucking galaxy, so. Lag. Where is the GDF fleet, though? This is what I was worried about. I'm a little worried it's going to bug. HE056. Oh, they're being built all over. I see. Okay, there's the first GDF fleet. We actually have it. Whew. I think. Please tell me it's not bugged. There we go. Elections are coming up, yeah. So Angelo Torres will be running for re-election. Oh, that's a nice background. Hell yeah. Would anyone really run against him? Maybe like a hardliner military, but I mean, he's ex-military too. I'm gonna say Mendez won't run again. She'll wait till it gets worse. If he's doing a bad job or his successor, she'll throw her hat in the game for the election. But right now, I don't think she would. Let's see who our choices could be here. I think a lot of humanity, especially like the bureaucrats and stuff and people who understand what's happening, would probably not try and cause internal division unless they just think they're such a better person for the job. I don't know if anyone would. He's not the most popular, but I think this is very subjective how they decide it. Yeah, it is. Traits. Fico might run against him. She would. She would. All right, Ficomont will throw in there. She'd run. Power hungry as she is. Yeah, I'm just gonna make it Ficomont versus Angelo Torres. We'll do that. Open arms. Now we need to go for a military one. Order, that could be it. Military buildup, that's what we want. Shipbuild speed, claim, cost reduction. War exhaustion reduction. Yep, military buildup. He did have a scandal. The war form was corrupt. No, it wasn't corrupt. It was investigated for corruption and proven to not be. So, or not corruption rather, but being a member of the contingency. So I wouldn't really see that as a scandal per se, just like a closely watched, very in the media kind of event rather than anything else. I also am going to end this evening after we have the election. I'm going for around 3 hours here, and I do need to go get groceries before the grocery store closes. You don't remember the tax haven asteroid basis? No. Was that an actual thing, Johnny, or are you messing with me? What was it? I don't remember that. There it is. These are ridiculous. Literally 5 cruisers and we're already got that much fleet power. That's ridiculous. Joni, I actually can't tell if you're kidding or not right now. There's 145 days. All right, I'm going to throw up a poll. This will be the last poll of the day. And when the election is done, I am going to end stream. Election of 2386, I think it was. Let me check. 2368. Angelo Torres, the incumbent, rather. Is running against, what's her name? Something Ficomons. Lucilla, no. Evergreen. I think she'd be running just on saying she's better for the job. We need, you know, someone with a lot of history and the proper connections and the balls to really get after things. Versus Angelo Torres, who's been like much less in the media, a lot more just like military, not military, like, what's the word? More conservative in his approach. He hasn't kind of talked with the people as much about his decision making, and she'd be obviously calling for transparency and just doing things, you know, with the people's blessing. The typical kind of, you know, tactic you take when you have no good really policy improvement over the other person. So she'd just be wanting transparency and calling for the UNE to be honest with the people about what's going on, the actions being taken against the contingency, and their plans militarily. Which she probably won't do if she gets power, but that's a running platform. Pretty weak overall, but it might get some people to vote for. $140 days. Gotta be careful not to go over. Marl Schulp possess a relic. Not power core. The hell is that? Oh, Marauders. Okay. That makes sense. I was worried we have another crisis popping up, but it appears we're fine. There was a scandal about a bunch of people, which included the War Forum, about them stealing government funds and then putting them in asteroid bases. Yeah, there was an event. He wasn't indicted though, right? It was just his administration, Johnny, if I remember correctly. So there would actually be some scandal attached to Angelo Torres, in that his ministers were being a little corrupt, and the War Forum still has his job despite stealing funds. I do remember that. That was a weird event. Because he's so confident we need him against the contingency, but yeah, that would cause some people to think twice about voting for him again. We do a wee bit of corruption, apparently. We've done pretty good today. We've gotten well over 300,000 fleet power. When that Juggernaut is done, I think we'll be in pretty good shape. Using sonar mapping to plot out the vast subterranean network, it eventually became evident that all the caves were interconnected. We have uncovered a massive web of tunnels that crisscross the entire surface of this world. There have been two additional discoveries of importance. The first is that the tunnel system is not a natural formation, but rather has been excavated by some titanic force. The second discovery is even more alarming. Seismographic readings prove that something is still burrowing down there. So we found Dune. We found the world in Dune. I forget the name of it. Angelo Torres has won re-election. Alrighty. We're ending here for the day, because I am very hungry. I want to go get some food. I will continue streaming Game of Thrones next Saturday, and then I will be streaming more Grand Campaign either Saturday, like we did today, after. I may move it to Sunday, because I'm not doing things on Sunday morning anymore. So I may do like a midday Sunday stream for Grand Campaign. We'll see. I haven't decided quite yet. Hope everyone has a good weekend and a good week, and enjoy the